All right. Well, welcome back to Aphelion Everlasting. Just a little recap from the last session. You guys had started investigating into the happenings on the ship. A couple of different angles, actually. It was, for the majority of you, a fact-finding mission about the black box that you had recovered from the ship. Going back to the Starfinder Society while Skada was following up on his little lead with the bartender. You traveled back down to the Spike, and you guys had gone to the Lore Spire complex. Upon getting there, the previous explorer that you guys had met to get some information about, or excuse me, get information from about the captain and anything.
Hey-o.
No, Thade Cosin, if you remember, was indisposed. While you were there, the two of you, Zidix and Soren, had tried to see if they could purview something else from the black box. It was actually at the same time that Tet was trying to make a little extra scratch. Happened upon a fine electronic shop, and from there he made some money fixing up a cleaning droid. Unfortunately, you guys were incarcerated. You were picked up.
We were not incarcerated.
Well, you were brought in. You were brought in for questioning. Definitely.
You were processed.
By the stewards. You were brought to the Bastion, and after a series of questioning separately, you guys were given your stuff, told not to leave the station, but allowed to go for the time being. And that was about the time that you received a communication from Skada saying that you guys need to meet up. And that's where we'll be picking up. And you guys, I don't believe, had indicated where you were going to be meeting up. But
No.
Oh no, that was last. That was a different
We just
one.
said that you just like checked in like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm done with my end. Let's meet up.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think we're just gonna meet back at the Drift's End. We'll go to the Drift's End.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And before we start going there, I'm going to give Buzz the same kind of instructions as before, just to like go as high as he safely can and keep a watch pattern for anybody suspicious who might be tailing us.
right. Let's have you have Buzz go ahead and roll a perception check while you guys are getting down to the same level that the Drift's End is at.
It's only
along
a
the
6.
spike. 6? Okay. He kind of floats up, and he's like, all right, boss, I'll keep overwatch. And he kind of like starts floating down a side street. And he's like, whoa, 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 wait, yeah, don't worry, I was just checking the side angles. Don't worry, I got it.
Good job, Buzz.
So go to the Drift's End.
Yeah, that's where I'm headed. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So you guys go to the Drift's End. It's about midday the next day, because you guys had kind of spent a little bit of time, at least from the last time you had seen Skada. So it's, early-ish in the morning. Luckily, it seems like all shifts are covered when it comes to imbibements. Drift End is open, albeit a little lighter in traffic. As you guys step in, you do see, you recognizing the costume, or excuse me, the disguise that he was wearing. You see Skada sitting on one of the side tables. You see your friends enter. You see a little bloop.
I'm not gonna approach Skada. I'm gonna find a table kind of far away, just so I'm not drawing attention to Skada.
Okay. All right. You see one about halfway across the back wall.
I tug on Soren's cloak or coat and like sit here.
I'm gonna go and grab a seat like a few seats away from him.
Okay. All right. So you guys all kind of spread out. Don't seem to be drawing attention. A lot of people seem to be coming in twos and threes, and then either staying together or splitting apart. But it's not uncommon. So you guys all kind of like find your own seats. The waiter comes around asking you if you want any sort of refreshment.
What do you got that's a Sheeran's choice of brew?
Yeah, the
Some sweet nectar.
the kind of like droid that like is just bare frame, kind of like has a tray and then like what appears to be like a little nozzle. It like kind of moves its hand over. You see it like drop kind of a glass out of its like forearm, and you see just this kind of like orange and like bright yellow liquid kind of fill up. It's about a shot glass size.
I'm loving it.
And he just kind of like.
Yep, I'll take 2 of those and whatever you want.
Is water free?
You see just a little bigger glass filled with water. And it just kind of like the table itself kind of has like a little bit of a groove into it, and it just slides the tray, and it just kind of and they all kind of like slide in the middle of the table.
Does he have a credit card slot somewhere?
It just kind of like holds its hand out, and there's like a directory there, or there's like a little kind of like
Credit exchange.
credit exchange input, and then yeah, it's just 2 credits.
Sure. I'll look that up. All right. I'll take a few sips and then I'll talk through telepathy to Skada. Skada. Zidix. What'd you find out?
I found out you guys were locked up.
Yeah, we found out some really interesting information.
Well, that's good. Well, my situation got a little fuzzy there. Got a little hairy. Shit got a little hairy.
I'm gonna relay some of this stuff. Oh, so he's stuff got hairy for him, and he knows that we got arrested.
Oh, lovely.
Okay.
Are you sending it like to?
No, I'm just
The
kind
other
of
two, or
I'm
just-
just talking
just
to him,
Okay.
relaying the information. So
Just trying to make it look like you have
Talking
small
to my
talk,
wallet, Make it look like I'm not talking.
ventriloquist act kind of thing.
So, yeah, I was here earlier, meeting back up with our, my, Shunta buddy.
yeah, who was that again? Thresh.
Thresh, yeah.
Thresh.
Yeah. So I went back to him, told him what went down. Turns out that, yeah, he kind of. Well, they've been. There's this group that they're a part of, this gang, been suspicious of the guy we met with for a while. That he was going rogue. And I was bait.
For that meetup we had in that alleyway?
Yeah. That was just he sent me there as bait to get confirmation that these guys have actually gone rogue against
The gang.
the gang, yeah. Actually, they got bad at Lorshan Dynamics is the name of the company, the
Okay.
corporation they were going
Hold
after.
on a sec. I'm gonna relay that to Soren.
All right.
We were set up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I kind of figured.
That guy was going rogue that we met in the alleyway.
The droid slides over to Tet, kind of like sitting there, just like nozzle in hand. Like
Yeah.
drops a glass.
I'll have your Acatonian ale, please.
Brown, amber-colored liquid. Slides it into the table. 1 credit.
Put the credit chip in there and give him a little Madroid.
It kind of just like no, and just like slides.
So, yeah, I found this out after I went and relayed the message back that I got from the guy we had the meeting with, and I was leaving there and I could tell I was being followed, and for ducking in an alleyway to look to see if I could find him, I turn around. It's one of your people. A fellow Sheeran.
Oh shit.
He popped out from behind something and proceeded to shoot me in the leg.
What?
You notice as he's kind of like sitting, you can kind of see the very kind of like
I'm looking at
Hits-
Soren saying this. What?
What?
if
What happened?
you looking across the room, you can kind of see him. He's like sitting in like kind of his usual like wide, tall man stance.
Yeah.
And you see just the very slight hint of a bandage off of his right leg.
Okay, I just take a glance like.
Yeah, so he had me on my knees and that's what she
Go
said.
on.
And he pointed his pistol at my head.
Whoa.
Euphemisms abound.
Yeah, and he proceeded to tell me I asked too many questions.
Does Sheeran said this to you?
Yeah, and and he was about to pull the trigger, but before he did, I heard a bang. Dude's head just fucking blows out in front, and my buddy Thresh saved me.
Okay, so we can trust Thresh.
Well, if we can find him.
Okay.
We since that kind of blew his cover, or kind of he had to kind of go into make himself scarce.
Mm-hmm.
You do notice that probably not the same bartender all the time, but definitely is a different bartender as you guys are here right now.
But that's when he informed me about this, about the bait and the whole situation with this guy. Now, yeah, I know we had signed up for that one mission with the bad guy, but that's all gone now, obviously. But
Yeah.
we
Did
gotta
we get paid for any of this?
I
hate to ask.
got us another way to get paid.
Okay, how much we talking? Was there an exchange of what we'd get?
That information was scarce.
Because we've got arrested.
But
we don't want to
We are
draw more
working
attention
with
to the
this
stewards.
gang, and to thwart them or the rogue faction from fucking with this corporation. So the money's got to be pretty good.
Okay.
And
Is this off-world at all?
no, it's here.
It's here.
It's here.
Because Soren and I at least are... We
Yeah.
can't leave.
You can't leave. But yeah, so I mean, if you guys are willing, he was aware of you guys. he
Does he trust us in any way?
he took my word for it.
Okay. Well,
But
I'm
if
just iffy about what maybe this will bring attention to the stewards that we were just brought in for questioning about the ships and things
true.
like that. They do believe us that we woke up in hypersleep and
right. I mean, no matter what, there's risk in this. But
I think we should tell you what we found out though too.
okay, you guys found out some information.
It's a possibility that we've been sleeping for over 5 years, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found out that one of the science officers was at least dead for 5 years. That was on the ship with us.
5.
We don't know exactly,
That's-
but it's been a time.
Oh boy.
Right about that time, the droid slides over to your table, Skadal, and is like kind of looking at you expectantly. Puts another glass on the tray. Do you want some more?
Is it free?
The droid doesn't answer. It's just kind of looking at you. Well, it's got like a scan line kind of
Yeah.
interface.
I'll just take a water.
It kind of fills it up. It like slides it and then just kind of like turns without even like a second, kind of like back and forth. Just leaves.
Thank you, kind sir.
And on top of that SOS we sent out on the planet,
Yeah.
we were picked up by Jason Thorin.
Yeah.
They told us they were from the Starfinder Society.
Yeah.
They weren't.
Well, do you know where they're from?
No, and that was a remote planet. There was no traffic anywhere around there, so it's a miracle that they made it
Why
to
would
that
they
planet.
have it there? I was suspicious of those dudes from the get-go.
They
but
made it there so quick.
way too quick.
It would have taken weeks for our signal to actually get to a civilized planet. So those chances are few and far between.
Yeah, there's something fishy going on there.
So that's another mystery we need to be on the lookout for, is Jason Thorin and their play in all this and why they helped us.
Well, we've got a lot on our plate.
We do need some funds. I know that.
Yeah, badly. I mean, I know this job. He was scarce with some of the info, and when I asked where I could find him, he said not to worry about it. So,
Okay. Oh boy.
yeah. But what holds some importance and a reason that we could trust this guy is he gave me his real name, which is he was very, very much not very forthcoming. Like, he said, this is a rarity. Almost nobody knows what my real name is. So, I mean, out of respect, I promised him I would not tell anybody.
Okay.
But that's just another thing that signaled to me that this guy's the real deal and that we can trust him to some degree. He's always been straight up with me. He never lied. So far. Well, with the exception of deceiving me and putting me as bait, but
That's what I was questioning. Why did he put you in that situation?
he just needed somebody to do it. I was there at the right time. Right
So
place.
they were looking for a fight.
They were looking for proof that this guy was betraying them.
What was the thing you told him again in the alleyway?
How
How goes the hunt or something like that?
I think it's how goes it in the wild. How have things been going lately in the wild?
Did he tell you what that exchange meant in the?
I'm fairly certain that that is just like
Code.
intergang code, like
Okay.
the code within the gang. Because when I first met the guy, he said the words that the other guy responded with, "free and clear." He said that to me earlier, so I have a feeling that's just lingo and code within the group.
Okay.
Yeah, that's as far as that goes. It's
Is he wanting you to join this gang?
the sound of it. He just wanted our help
With this job.
with this job.
Okay.
I'm assuming that you're relaying this in kind of like weaving back
Yeah.
and forth. Okay, all right. Just because
I'll fill in the blanks. Huh. Interesting. You don't say.
Yeah. Acknowledging it all.
exactly.
Just feel the searing.
Wait, one
glare.
more time?
What
I
was
didn't
that?
catch that. What?
Can you clarify that?
Even though you're not looking at me, I can just feel your disappointment and frustration.
I'll get updated at
Well,
some point.
You
let's just say
bastard.
I've been like
Or you've been
communicating with
relaying it.
Soren by like communicator, like I'm just typing what you're saying to Soren on my communicator. Like
Damn,
texting.
I have-
Multitasking.
I suppose
I have mating hands, so I'm probably just like this. I'm just like
you're just doing like the little feelers.
my little, they're pecking.
Well, and I have limited telepathy too.
Well, it's a point-to-point connection. You can't group conversation.
No, but like me and him can talk, but I can also relay a message to like him, can't I?
I mean, it's like think of it as you're switching conversations. Like I'm talking to you, and then I'm talking to you. It's kind of think of it as like there's a barrier between you two, and I'm just kind of that B connection between A and C. So I
Right.
mean, you can relay it back and forth. It would just obviously be like a little bit longer,
Right.
extending that back. So
So I
So
want to feel my buddy in too.
this job is in Pipetown still.
Fuck yeah. Yes.
yes.
Yes. Forgot for a second, but then I remembered Pipetown. So
Do you know any more about this job? What we have to do? We just have to take some guys out.
pretty much, man. Those dudes we dealt with the other day.
Okay.
It's us and that gang versus them, essentially.
Well, we need to
They want to take them out.
go somewhere other than this and talk about a plan
Yeah.
away from
Prying eyes.
exactly.
There is about 8 to 10 people, give or take, in the bar. So
Soren and I
it's-
will leave first.
Okay.
We'll go back up to the surface, above the spike, and find a place. Just got some Cracker Jacks.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just sitting there with on the bar, just like, okay, tell me more.
So yeah, we'll see you up on the surface.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. And Soren and I will.
Thanks for the drinks.
All right. So the droid was just kind of like circling around. So it's just like gives you kind of like a really weird kind of like bow kind of thing. And as you guys are walking out, Tet, you see those two standing up and starting to walk out. Do you follow?
Not immediately, no. I
Okay.
just sit there and keep finishing my drink.
Okay. It's a pretty crisp brew. It's nice and tasty.
Just sip on it a little bit.
Delicious. So you eventually finish your drink, and go ahead.
Put down the glass, and then just look at the guy next to me.
And you! Don't ever talk to me like that again or you'll get the consequences.
And I just turn on my stool and walk out.
It's like an older gentleman, and he just kind of like turns around. And he's like, "What?" And right as you're leaving, he's just kind of like looking, and he just like looks a little sad because he's just like, "What did I do?"
His eyes water up.
I just look at him and I'm just like, can never tell with those Acatonians, man.
You're saying that from the opposite side of the room.
Oh, I thought you said he sat like a few seats over from me.
I mean, he's still a few seats over, but all right, whatever.
Okay.
The guy kind of looks at you, and he's like, "Dude, that's kind of racist."
I calls him like I sees him.
He kind of stands up, and he like goes and sits at the bar on the other side of the room. He just kind of like looks just
After getting shut
disappointed.
down, drink near this racist.
It's racist ass Lashunta.
All right, so you leave. Your last one in the bar.
I pop a little like the equivalent of some bar nuts or whatever in my mouth, and
All right.
then stand up and stretch a little bit and brush myself off and ground and fuck off.
Okay. All right. So
What an exit.
yeah, quite an exit.